I went to have breakfast the other day, and the waitress came over, and she goes, "Oh, did you see what's happening down by Olympia?" And I'm going, "No, what? What's happening? What do you think of that?" I don't think anything about it. What is it? And it was the big drama that's going on down there, that they put up the Nativity Scene, and then they put up the ones that don't believe in God, put up a sign there, and they're bickering back and forth, and such nonsense. And I go, what is that sign? Your faith's so weak that that sign is going to interrupt it? And people are so caught up in such a drama, and for what? For what? Why such a big catching on this drama? Is there a God? Is there not a God? And how dare you believe? And why don't you believe? And leave each to their own. If they don't want to believe there's a God, let them not believe there's a God. If they want to cling to a God, let them cling to God. What difference does it make?
But people love to push their opinions onto others,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah. Exactly. It's ego affirming to do that.
Yeah.
If I believe this way, everyone has to believe like this, because I have to know that I have the right way. Therefore, everyone has to believe it like that.
It's all conceptual until direct experience.
Yeah, it's all conceptual until direct experience. Yeah, that's why the Buddhists, they don't say there's God, not necessarily that there's no God. You have to get there to find out, because both are true. People go, how could both be true? Because when you get there, there's no persona of God. God is basically ground of being, where everything comes out of. But it's not a persona. And then again, for God to exist, there has to be something other than. But there's nothing other than that ground of being. So you can either say God is all that exists, or it doesn't exist. I mean, either way, depending on what way you're looking at it. Because it's not what people think. Most assuredly, there's something there, or you would have no life, no breath. You would have no existence. But it's not somebody sitting up there with this stick that's waiting to punish you and hand out the goodies. It's not what people think it is. So the Buddhists leave it open to say, just find out for yourself what's there. It's something more real than anything you see here, but yet it has no tangibility as a substance, as a material object. It's not an object. So you have to get there. That's all.
And will never be tangible either.
No. When you get to realization, you can say, yeah, what's real? This is real. I'm here now. Okay, that's real. But we say it's illusion when you're on the path because it's not real as what you think it is. Okay? It's not real what you think it is. So we say it's illusion. That's why they have the saying, before realization there are trees and mountains. On the path they become something else. They become symbols and all this other stuff. And after realization, okay, they're back to trees and mountains again. It's a reality. It's a mountain. It's a tree. Get over it. That's all.
A life force.
It's a life force, yeah. And there's no division in that. Not oneness. Oneness takes two to make oneness. That's why it's got ness. like one, but it's not really one. It's like one. Oneness. We're like one. Okay, but we're not really one, but we're going to say we're ones. If that's not confused, I don't know what is. So no, it's beyond that. It's not oneness, not the essence of one. There's something beyond that, which is not divisible in any way, shape, or form. And then there's no illusion. It's like the prism. You have one light that comes through and it makes all the subdivided colors appear. But if you look at beyond the subdivided colors, you see it comes from one, a singular essence. So that division of lights is what it is. Okay? There's really not many different lights. It comes from one source. So non-duality is like that. You're cognizant always of that one source. And the eyes register the different lights, okay, but there's no confusion. Is it one or is it many? I don't know. Well, maybe if we put them all together like this, then they're in oneness. Then we can convince ourselves that we come from that singular. It's a lot of drama. Like if you have a lamp and you got a lampshade on it, and the lampshade has holes in it, you'll have projection of many little lights. But really they come from one light bulb. A source is one light bulb. It's not many different light bulbs and many different things. Just one. Okay? So you get over the illusion of being separate. That's all. We just get back to the source, to light. Ground of being, light beyond lights, that's all.
But all these spots, these spots of light on the wall, they seem to act independently.
Mm-hmm. Well, they may seem to act independently. Still doesn't change the fact they come from one source. Each one can dance around, but what difference does it make? It's still the ground of being, the essence of it is one, unchanging. No matter how many ways the light changes, it still has to have that singular essence there to give it life, or else it wouldn't exist at all. So it doesn't matter what you do, it's still that singular. Singular essence. So it becomes very simple. Once everything falls away, it's just clarity. All of that is just immediately seen and known, and it just is a fact. It's not a speculation. It's a fact. Like breathing air. You don't need to see air to know that you're breathing it, okay? It's just there, a fact. Very simple. Then all this complication and theory and everything you had is out the door. And you just laugh, you know? 'Cause it's so caught up in all this complication and theory and trying to make it into this or that. And, you know, I got to go to this holy place. I got to go to this sacred spot. I've got to do X amount of jumps. I got to X amount of squats. I got to, you know, bow so many times. And you find out all of that externalization had nothing to do with it. It was always right there. Always is right here.
That's what I love about you.
What's that?
That simplicity.
The simplicity.
Mm.
That's simple-minded.
It holds so much humility.
What is humility?
Lack of arrogance.
What can there be arrogant about? What is here is there. No difference. There's no difference. One's just awake to it and the other one is not, that's all. It's the same. No difference. So what is there, how can one be arrogant in realization? There's no one to be arrogant. You're just a big zero.